And good morning, everyone. Hope you're all well. I see there's a lot of you in the chat here. First of all, let me introduce the wonderful Kenny Ken, old
Thank you.
school fan, proper old school fan, joining me this morning. Nice to have you back on, Kenny. Enjoyed the boxing last night?
Yes, I did enjoy it. It was a very good card. I think the fight of the night was actually the first fight between Amy Timlin and Carly Skelly of Carly Skelly of Liverpool. Both of them, it was a draw. Definitely,
Yeah.
it looked like a draw for me, but both of them are very disappointed and thought that they won the fight and they want to go for a thing. And also, there was a fascinating fight before the main build between George Cambiasos Jr. beating Lee Selby and beating him quite comfortably towards the end. So that was fact. I Dean, and that was a fascinating fight. And also, you got the main fight where unfortunately Derek Chisora again at the highest level just couldn't get it off. He was willing, but despite the build up that David Hay gave about all these new things he's learning, he looked tired, he looked laboured, and his slow feet and slow hands were probably one of the reasons why Usyk was able to get out of tight corners and everything. But it'd be interesting to see how Usyk does against fighters who actually got quick feet, quick hands. Hi, Kevin, and also people who can bang, because boxing is not about the sweet science of sport, as Lennox Lewis used to talk about. Good morning, Simon. It's all about, especially at heavyweight level, professional heavyweight level, it's all about being able to fight and able to bang. You know what I mean? Because there are going to be times when fighters like Joshua and maybe Wilder and Dillian White, definitely, when they hit Usyk, he's going to feel it all the way down to his foundations, and then that's when you're going to know what he's made about. They'll have no problem with Usyk doing a runner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he will feel, because if Derek Chisora can catch him, these lot can.
Yeah, listen, I was going to ask you, by the way, I think he fought a brave fight. I thought maybe a bit naive, maybe went in too early in the first two rounds, should have saved a bit. But anyway, it's a matter of opinion. I watched the fight before, and I want to ask you a question there, because I don't understand boxing as well as you do, Kenny, right? I'm watching a fight with the guy, Selby and...
his name is Combosos.
Yeah. I watched the fight, and I thought this no split decision for me. The guy won four rounds to me, and there's one judge is giving it to Selby by 1 round.
I don't understand what that judge is watching. I think what's happening now is that enough's enough now, and it seems to be judges from this country as well. We don't know what they're after, but but you would have thought it's the accuracy of the punches. It seems like if you come forward, that you get rounds. You can come forward you like, but surely winning rounds is about actually catching your opponent on the knuckles, on the face, on the head, and around the body. And I think that's the whole thing about the boxing. But to just make it a split decision, I just don't know what some of these judges are doing, and they're actually giving the sport a very, very bad name. That was a wide margin, and that poor guy George Cambiasos, who fought his eye out, shouldn't be put through that. Especially when supposedly if another judge did what the other judge did, and then went, oh right, let's make it a draw. So it's a split draw when he clearly won the fight.
I get it. I mean, even the other fight, the Chisora fight last night, went to how was it? The judges gave it in favour of the guy, and I think he won the fight because I think his skill won the fight. But I look, and there was 2 ex-professional boxers there saying Chisora had won the fight. Just shows you how people are on these.
Yeah, but you got to realise is that one of them was very biased. Tony Bellew is a very, very good personal friend of Derek Chisora, so he's very biased. So David Hay and Eddie Earn are very biased as well, because they saw him coming forward and they saw him fought his heart out and put in a lot of effort. But let's not face it, right? He had to jab. He had to go to southpaw because he couldn't catch him orthodox, and he was actually throwing jabs and straight punches in order to get some sort of accuracy. But when he was trying to throw the overhand right, he was missing by a mile because, again, he hasn't got the speed and handle foot. Derek Chisora is basically a domestic level fighter, or maybe, or just probably just at underworld level. But every time he's gone in with fighters that can bang and got quicker feet, he's lost. He hasn't been knocked out as such, except for Pepe, David Haye and Dillian White. But the problem he's got is that that's his level. But the thing about it is that boxing is about an entertainment business, and it's about getting casual fans. And because Derek appeals to the casual fans, because he's got someone like David Haye as his manager, he's still going to have a career. And Derek Chisora can still go on for a few years at domestic level, you know. And as long as you've got someone like David Haye who can sell ice to Eskimos, he'd be around for maybe a year, a couple of years. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
especially, so you know what I mean?
I was going to ask, by the way, Rolfie, but it turns up in the chat when they start winning, doesn't it, Rolfie? He says, catch us if you can get Rolfie. He's now in the chat. He's talking in the chat.
I had time. Yeah, but I think the thing is, right, is that...
Oh, he loves it.
Chelsea... You
they
know,
play well. They play. I watched the game. They play very well.
Yeah, they got a very good attack, and, you know, and they got a rich attack. But it's just a balance between his midfield and defence. But I look at it this way, right? There's against better teams, or teams that are going to just, you know, play with abandon and go at Chelsea. They're going to concede goals. You know, all Frank Lampard's team conceded goals. At Derby, he was conceding goals. Last season, conceding goals. So that's going to be no like slouch. But, you know, he's learning the job, Frank, because he's only been a manager for 3 years.
Do you know what, Kenny? I was watching that game last night. Yes, as I was saying, he's a bit lucky in a way, Lampard, because he didn't pick Werner to start with, did he? It was only because Pulisic pulled up, didn't he? A lot of this is happening lately. Pulled up just before the game, and that gave Werner the chance to play. So, you know what?
Diego, you've mistaken, mate. You said that Chisora won on points. I know you're a massive Chisora fan, respect you and everything, and I know he put a very good effort in, but his work was sloppy. It was, and let's face it, he looked completely exhausted at the end of the eighth round, and I think seventh round. I thought usually were going to take him out. Sometimes there's levels in this sport, and Chisora's just, you know, he's just European, you know, Commonwealth level. He isn't, you know, world level as such. But he can get himself as part of the equation because he's got Eddie Earners.
He's got a big heart, hasn't he? He's got a big heart. Really.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Just on the day that I said it before the fight. I think although the heavier, I thought this guy would be too classy for him. But watching that fight, I don't think he will be able to go against the other.
Well, think about Usyk. Usyk's 33, so I don't know. Obviously, in boxing terms, he's quite young. But the people he's fighting, like the two Tyson Furies, I don't see Tyson Fury hanging around too long. Yeah. You know, after Joshua. Joshua's all about numbers. Dillian White is only going to want to fight the big fighters. If Usyk doesn't do numbers, Tyson Fury, in my opinion, struggles with his mental health. So he's not going to want waiting around and blah, blah, and have too much spare time in his hands. And he wants to help people with disadvantaged people anyway. So you've got a super chat anyway.
Oh, sorry, I've got a super chat. That's it. Oh, lovely. Morning, top 5 favourite cities, towns in the UK. What's your top 5?
London. We're Londoners. Second one for me is Manchester, because I had a great best time ever. Third one is Leicester, because of because my wife's family's from there. The fourth one for me is Liverpool, because I had a great time there. And the fifth one, I've been to City. I don't know what other cities I suppose I've been Leeds once, but that's just for football. But apart from that, that's about it. But in terms of London, it's always London, isn't it?
Yeah, there's another super chat in there somewhere. if Diesel can bring it up. There's another super chat that, in the. Is there another one in there? I thought I saw another one. A minute, when we go, let's have a look. Yeah, there we go. See, I have to. I think.
Yeah, it's a guy, Christopher Ward from Australia. He says, "Big up Claude and Kenny Ken, the real ones. Much love from Australia. Much love to you as well. Sorry about what happened in the Bledisloe Cup yesterday. I stayed up to watch it, and I think Australia put out quite of a, experimental side. But the All Blacks, they're just an awesome side. But there's some big things happening in Australian cricket. You've got India in the sort of 2020s and one days, and you've got test matches as well towards the end, just after Christmas. So, in India, it's going to be a fascinating series because they're holding the Gavaskar Border Trophy.
Right, I'm going to move on to the football now. I thought because of your boxing knowledge, I thought I'd bring you in on that boxing bit. I'm going to go on to the football now, and the big game today. Hold on, let me get the screen up. Let's have a look at this a minute. Bear with me a minute, Kenny. And this is what I would go with today. But I want you to tell me, because I know you're going to disagree, where you would change that, Kenny. Can you see that screen there?
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it perfectly. I've looked at your team. Your team is.
I'm going for Aubameyang down the middle because everyone is calling for it. Let's see if we can do it in the middle, because
logically I can see the logic in what you're trying to do, is because one of the things is that you want Aubameyang, like if Man United are playing the high line, you want him on Maguire, because Maguire, he's good at heading the ball out, he's good with his feet, bringing the ball, bringing like I said, the ball out. Yeah, Tony, London is a ghost town at the moment. It will be for 4 weeks, mate. So I can understand you saying, right, we Man United play the high line. We get the ball out quickly. Hi, Jason from Melbourne. Nice, love you, Oaks. And then if you can get the ball, if you can get the out ball out, and you've got Maguire and Aubameyang on the halfway line with Aubameyang's pace, he's off. So I can understand why fans will want that, and because he's our most potent goal scorer. Logically. All right, my wife's family from Syston, mate, George. So, Syston, which is just outside Leicester. So, basically, I'm coming at Pulev is good level. We only lost, but I think he's Joshua should batter him. Anyway, getting back to the football. In terms of where Aubameyang plays, I get why that happens. But the problem is, you're just waiting for the occasion of when that sort of happens. But ordinarily, in order for that to happen, Aubameyang has to be able to press from the front. He has to be able to sort of play with his back to goal and hold the ball up. Now, not too funny, right? Where do you want Aubameyang to be? You want Aubameyang to be in the best positions where he can score goals. And for me, playing on that sort of left centre forward is where he can hurt teams, because he can still go into the middle and get in the end of like I said, the crosses, or maybe have a run on the defender and then cut in and have a shot. That's where he plays his best football. And I think why fix something that ain't broken? I know he hasn't scored for a blah blah, but a lot of that is because teams are pressing us and stopping us from getting that out ball out to him. So they're doing their jobs properly. But I personally wouldn't play Aubameyang there, and that's why I'll change your team and play Lacazette there, only because Lacazette is the best forward we have of that type at the moment. Maybe when Bellerin impress a bit more, maybe by after Christmas, if he's getting games, scores a few goals, maybe you may think, what, I'm going to have a shootout between him and Eddie in that position. For me, I'm changing your team there. Also, in terms of Saka, I get where you're coming from, and he will be a bit unlucky there. But I'll put Aubameyang in Saka's position I'll put Lacazette where Aubameyang's, and that's for Pepe. My pay, and I say this with great respect, a lot of Pepe fans are in the chat and people watching him, but I'm saying it now. Hi, Johnny. No, thanks, mate. Basically, Pepe has got Willy Wonka's golden ticket, right? Well, seriously, he's got the college ticket. He might have been Charlie from the Chocolate Factory, right? But he's got so much ability, right? But unfortunately, right, he doesn't do it for us. And the problem is that in a game like Man United, where I think Man United are going to be giving them financial protection, giving their defence protection, and they're going to allow them to be on the front foot with their pacey forwards. I don't see, if we lose the ball in positions or Pepe, we can't get the ball to Pepe, you're playing with 10 men.
Yeah.
And in terms of like the tactics, all right, Man United, to beat Man United, you still have to have a bit of structure. And that's why, reluctantly, I'm playing Willian there.
Yeah.
In terms of your
Willian down the middle, though. I don't want him down the middle.
No, it doesn't have to play down the middle, but because I'd be furious if he plays there as well. But in terms of like your second defence, I'm not happy with Mustafi there. I want David Luiz there. Because I think
he's not fit. He's not fit. He's not injured.
All right, if he's not fit, then Mustafi gets the game. So I suppose that's where we agree.
We're short.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. No. The thing is, in order for Pepe to get in the game, right, you're expecting our midfield to outnumber Man United's midfield. You're expecting Xhaka to get the ball and Ceballos to get the ball and be dominating possession at Old Trafford in order to get Pepe into the game. So do you actually see us being able to dominate possession at Old Trafford?
You've destroyed me. You've destroyed my thoughts.
No, I've just given you a thought. You don't have to agree with it. You
You the way you've put it now, I think you could be right. The only thing I will say is that we've got this is the numbers we've got at the moment. I know he's going to pick Xhaka. I know he's going to pick Xhaka, whatever.
Granit's his lieutenant, and he's manager on the field, and so is David. And I get a feeling that William Bosch is going to be his man on the field as well. And the thing about it, right? It's going to be today. It's going to be Operation Stop Fernandes. You know what I mean? And the trouble with Bruno Fernandes is that he will love that all day long. He's still going to want the ball. He's going to play be clever. He's just said, right, if like Xhaka, Partey, and Ceballos have take turns to try and mark me out of the game, that's space for someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to move on to let's have a look at this. I don't know if this is going to come up now. This is what can you see that the United lineup? They reckon they're going to put out, and they're going to go with a 4-2-3-1. I think they're thinking. So
I haven't seen the lineup yet, but I can only assume that the dilemma that Solskjaer is going to have is which midfielders to play with Fernandes, because he'll like to play Popper, because I thought Popper played very well on Wednesday. Obviously, Van der Beek can play that sort of withdrawn false number 9 role very well.
Have I put the United lineup up there?
No, you haven't put it up yet.
Oh, hold on. I've done it wrong then, because 1 minute. Wait a minute. I thought it's coming on my screen and it's not coming on yours. No,
that's all right.
1 minute. Hold on a minute. Let's get back here a minute. I'll put it up now. 1 minute. I don't know what.
Tony, stop messing about and enjoy the show. Stop stirring.
Let's have a look now. Share. Okay, let's go here. There we go. Can you see it now, Kenny?
It's going to come up any minute, mate. Right, if you could just see it. So, let me have a look. I have to squint your eyes, mate. It's a bit smaller, but can you call it out to me?
Right, I'll call it out. They're going with a 4-2-3-1. They're going with the fullbacks will be Shaw and Van Bissaka, Lindelof and Maguire. The 2 in front will be Pogba and Fred. And then the 3 will be Rashford on the left, Greenwood on the right, Fernandes in the middle of them 2, and then Cavani is the striker.
I think that's the thing. I look at our Man United fans. He thinks we're going to get thrashed, but I think that's the midfielder. He's probably going to look at worry. Maybe might leave Pogba out, and he might play McTominay in there in order to stop the press, us the outball for us. In order so basically that if Man United do play the high line, he's going to want McTominay and Fred to get in our faces. So Maguire is not isolated.
He's not put McTominay. Sorry, I didn't explain.
No. What I'm trying to say is that he, in terms of like, if you look at Pogba, obviously Pogba's got a bit of form. He played really well on Wednesday against Leipzig, but in terms of like, the genuine protection for the back four, he may say, right, I'll play Fred alongside McTominay, who's genuinely going to do the dirty jobs that Pogba probably wouldn't want to do, because you're going to want Pogba to sort of not just be the second creative force alongside Bruno Fernandes. And sometimes if Fernandes is getting marked, he could just go into Pogba position, and then Pogba could go forward and be beyond the front, being just in front of Cavani. So it's a very like interesting lineup that Solskjaer's going to play. And I think had they lost against Leipzig, I don't think he would have played that team. He would have probably just gone to play the sort of formation that they played against Chelsea, because he's frightened of getting exposed.
There's a super chat in here. Sorry, Kenny. Do you think we should play Pepe? Oh, you've answered that. On the left or the right? He's too predictable. Always cutting in on the left. He can go to the outside like Sané. Yeah, so they reckon that he's too predictable there, Kenny.
I think the thing with Pepe is just tentative. It's like he's like, he has shackles just like our manager. But when you look at someone like Mane, even at Southampton, he was finding space out of nowhere. If you know what I mean. If you look at the space he found, the goal that got disallowed yesterday. He knows how to drop off when the cross comes in and be in the right place where his defender doesn't know where to go. So because his defender attracts to the ball, Mane's there unmarked, puts a shot in. Look at his goal against Goodison Park. The same thing about Mane. Another thing as well with Mane is that he doesn't mind if he has three players around him. He's still going to get through them because the simple reason is that he can play with his back to goal. He can turn it. He's very good at turning his marker, and then when he turns his marker and goes, that's where the trouble is. Maybe that's someone that Pepe can get in his game. So he's still a young lad, but he's not. But yeah, he plays a lot like Leroy Sané as well, who struggled at Man City, in my opinion, as well. So I look at that and I think, his second season now, you should be expecting a bit more from him.
Stitch up on Wembley is oh dear, ain't got over that yet, has he?
He should do. Chelsea have won more than Arsenal can ever do. Yeah, and you've won actually more than Man United. Chelsea win too much. Let someone else have the.
He's right about them being poor in the back. We should be trying to exploit that, really. We can only exploit that if you're allowed to exploit that. And the reason what I'm trying to say is about exploiting it is that if the reason why they're poor at the back isn't because they're actually poor players, because all teams are playing the high line. Everyone, we play the high line. Liverpool play the high line. Because the reason why you play the high line is because the simple reason is that you're trying to get people offside. You know what I mean? Because you're basically saying to teams, you play that long ball over the top, we go forward, your players offside. So to get rid of the high line, people are now passing quickly down the sides. But so what you're saying by wanting to play Aubameyang is that Man United to play the high line, and you want Aubameyang on Maguire. So when he spins Maguire, he's having a run, and when Aubameyang's running, our attackers are running alongside him to make it a 3-3 situation or 3-2 situation in our favour. So I can understand why you want to do that, but it only works if Man United forwards and their midfield ain't doing their job properly.
and not giving Maguire any protection by not pressing. And I don't think Man United are going to be that stupid and generous that they were against Crystal Palace and Spurs. They'll be forced to. You know, they're winning the game. They're in a good frame of mind. Why spoil that by, you know, making mistakes that can lose them a game against us?
Kenny, that's what they think that United will line up. I'm not sure whether Cavani will play. Do you reckon Cavani will play?
Well, there's no reason why he shouldn't play, for simple reasons that he will get a goal. I understand Martial isn't available because of his sending off. Yeah. You know, logic. It's either going to be him or they might even play Van der Beek in the sort of false number 9 role, So you know, and they may look at it and say, you know what, Ederson, you're not ready yet, and it's a big game, you know, blah blah. You know what I mean?
Can you read it for you, Kenny? It says two up in front, Lacazette, 3-3-2-2. Max bench press, Kenny.
Oh, maximum bench press. So that I knew that was kind of coming. The maximum bench press I could have done before I stopped was 150 kilograms. So that was like the bar plus three plates of 20 on each side, plus another 5 on each side. So yeah, 65 on each side plus the bar, 150. And that push. If you offered me a grand, I'd do about one. I could do 170 if you want, but that's only if you're paying me, because that's a lot to have in your chest.
See, this is what I'm saying. You don't want to get out. You don't want to confront Kenny on a bad day. Then, oh dear. Let's have a look.
Do I watch streams? No, I think about it. Right, I just love. I'm too nervous to watch the streams. I don't watch AFTV's streams. Not once. I don't watch it because no disrespect, they're about a minute behind anyway. Claude streams are on time, but I think what's happened is I'm too excited about watching the match, so I'll probably just go on my Instagram story and just put all the goals on and take them off.
Oh, right. Right. Don't get copyrighted for that then.
Not at all, because you know, you put your Instagram stories only last for about 24 hours, I think, or 12 hours.
Oh, right. I thought because if you use film from Sky, they can.
No. I think what's happened, right, is if you use film on Twitter, you get done for copyright and use your account. And if you go on YouTube, you can get done for copyright. Or what will happen is that they won't pay you the money for the ads because you use copyright.
Yeah. I know a lot of people. I know a few people have really been done so many times on that, and they still continue.
Well, if you heard of a guy in Australia, I think our Australian viewers who we spoke to us already today, you would have heard of a guy called Rob Moody, and he's called Robert Linda. And basically what he does is that he has a cassette tape of every cricket match that he's watched from about the 80s up until the present day. And basically all he does is put videos of all matches involving Australia, and with Channel 9 or say England matches as well. And if you went up to him and said, right, can you do me a compilation of Curtly Ambrose's all his time he's bowled someone out, it could do your compilation, or Dean Jones, blah blah. And he never gets done for copyright, but he doesn't make money out of it because it's copyright. But what's happened is that, you know, Cricket Australia, Channel 9, they're more than happy for him to do that because it brings kudos for them, but he makes no money.
By the way, thank you, Sabina. She's become a new subscriber. Thank you very much. It's always appreciated.
Hi, Sabina.
Also, I think I had a super chat here somewhere along the line. Where's it gone? Oh, it's gone by it. Is it this one? It's Alan Bastard, MP. Remember Alan Bastard? Remember that?
Yes, the late great Rick Mail. You know, like I said,
Sell Pepe.
New statesman.
Sell Pepe, get Zaha.
Yeah, I agree. I want that to happen as well. I want it to happen. Nothing personal, but
Yeah.
I want us to hit the ground running. We haven't got time. I think what's happened now is that all these people who say that Arteta, give him time and blah, blah, we're in a transitional period. They need to realise the transitional period started in April 2018 when Arsene Wenger was dismissed. So we're 2 years in transition period and no progress is made. But the problem is that there's no time in football for anyone. Our new board are ruthless. You know, if Arteta doesn't get the top four or even or win a Europa League, there's a problem. He's got a problem. Doesn't matter how inexperienced he is or not. He's got a problem. He may get another chance a year afterwards to see if he can get it. But if he's still having the same results by December of next year, he's sacked. Because that's what happened with Unai. Because there were so it's the top four.
He
We just talk
lost
about
the dressing room, didn't he? Really, more than anything.
Well, you say he lost the dressing room, but But who did he really lose? Mesut Ozil. Really? Is he the dressing room? They've kicked him out. Has Arteta lost the dressing room? Really? Not really. I think the problem with I think what's happened is that it was Baku that killed Unai Emery, and what happened with Unai Emery as well is that
but you could see the players taking the mick out of him in training.
Of course, but people like Guendouzi are not mature enough to be the fulcrum of the side, and we had the great Xhaka situation where he had to take the captaincy off him, and players like Lacazette, who I'm not convinced that he's a good egg, were part of the problem. Super chat, mate. Super chat from
Randy Viper. Is this rugby? Is this rugby? England lucky to win.
Basically, what's happened in rugby yesterday was the last Six Nation matches, obviously because of what happened with lockdown. But France played Ireland and won 37-20, 25-27. England won 34-5 against your boys Italy, and Wales lost at home to Scotland 14-10. So basically, Ireland were the favourite. Ireland were going in as top for the Six Nations, but because of what happened in Paris and England's score average, they won the Six Nations.
Yeah, I don't know why the Italians bother, because half of them are not even Italians that play for them anyway.
They're Argentines.
I don't know why they bother rugby. It's not for rugby. Rugby is not for Italians, I'm afraid. They're more loving country. They're more of a lovers rather than aggression.
Sabina sent you a nice message.
So Sabina, that's very nice of you. Sabina, I'm so happy you guys are doing your own stuff from AFTV. I'm glad I get to see more of you. Thank you very much, Sabina.
Thanks, Sabina.
Thank you very much for that. That's very nice of her. Very nice. When is Kenny talking about the results up until Baku?
Steve, coming into Baku, the results weren't the greatest, but we were still going into the last game before Brighton. We still had the Champions League in our hands. Results went against us. He panicked after a couple of defeats against Leicester and Wolves, but he wasn't. But the thing is that there's been no improvement since then. Remember, he played the team that we wanted. In Baku, he played the Aubameyang and Lacazette together. He played a very attacking team. It just didn't work out for him. The players, I'm sorry, were very culpable in that. And the baddest egg there was Mesut Ozil, Stephen. There's no doubt about that, because it's been proved. Because if you listen to Guillaume Balaguer, his assessment of Mesut Ozil, he basically has confirmed what I've always believed, that it's football reasons, and that if you have a problem in your team, you cut it out. Like what happened with Guardiola when he had a problem with Samuel Eto'o. He wanted Samuel Eto'o and all those boys out, but because Samuel Eto'o scored goals, he kept him for another year, but it didn't stop him from getting rid of him. If you've got bad eggs in your dressing room, then you're not going to win any football match. Yeah, the manager is going to take the blame, and he was right. He was sacked, but But the fact of the matter is that players weren't playing him. We had problems. The biggest, when Mesut Emery lost the dressing room was when he left that. Was in January, right? When Mesut Ozil again had one of his phantom injuries when we played West Ham, and then because he weren't playing and Unai Emery wasn't happy with him, it was oh, we lost because we missed Ozil's creativity, and that's where things went wrong for Unai. It's just as much the players as Unai Emery.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Kenny, I like to talk about this now. It's good news regarding the football carrying on. I think we needed that. I think it'd have been murders for me if I don't know.
But the thing is, it was never going to be a situation, Claude. You were worrying about nothing. And the reason why you're worrying about nothing is that the reason why certain establishments are open, right, is because the fact is that football, rugby, the cricket, and all major sports, elite sports, is basically what the situation is that because they've got protocols in place, such as eco bubbles or biochemical bubbles, plus they've got the testing in place. They test everyone every 5 seconds on a regular basis, and if you're out, if you fail the test, you've got to self-isolate. They've got that in place, and that's why the football was never going to be the cricket and everything else is never going to be in jeopardy. So that's why I think, and it's the same with schools as well. If you talk about schools, they had the same sort of protocols. Obviously, they don't test, but they had the same sort of biochemical processes where, in place, other years don't mix with other years. If there's one group of year where a person is infected, the whole year goes out and self-isolates. So they've got these things in place. Unfortunately for the non-essential goods and everything else, they don't have these things in place, and that's why it's safer to lock these people down. Another thing as well is that we're part of the problem in this country. You look at Sweden, right? No lockdown. They just told people wash their hands, wear a mask, and social distance. They took the initiative in Sweden to basically virtually lock themselves down and be sensible. You know what I mean? Yeah. In this country, we're not sensible. There's too many muddled thinking. Obviously, we want our lives back and blah blah, and I respect that. And obviously, I'm sceptical about the numbers as well. But what's going to happen in the next couple of days is that you're going to see loads of images of these youngsters going on like pork chops, going around having little photos of them celebrating their last bit of freedom, hugging and kissing and doing press-ups in the streets and all that sort of nonsense. And then what will happen is that people will see these images and the people, the authorities are going to say, thank you, let's extend the lockdown. Because that's what happened last time.
They won't do, Kenny, because it's Christmas. They won't extend it past Christmas.
See, that's the thing. You've got the reason why is because Christmas is £1 billion industry. Remember, in Hyde Park, Winter Wonderland has to be cancelled. So that's loads of money's been lost. But because
Kenny, I'm going to ask you to answer this question. Sorry, because before it goes off screen, Flo's in that here, nice, my friend from Australia, nice guy.
How you doing, mate?
Ozil is better than any player we have in our midfield or in attack. Name me a better player that's better than him to justify footballing reasons.
What's that one for you or for me? All right. Who's taking that, me or you?
You take that, Kenny.
All right. I'll tell you. All right. I'll tell you what the situation is. Is that with Mesut Ozil, there's no doubt in his footballing ability and his footballing pedigree. That's not in doubt. You only have to look at his early years at Werder Bremen, his early years at Schalke when he was discovered, and he was actually people like Joachim Löw was watching him from a young age. Horst Rubesch in the under-21s of Germany. He's got his move to Real Madrid, and even when he was at Arsenal, when he was divided opinion, he was still doing the numbers for Germany because Joachim Löw built a team around him. There's no doubt on pedigree, but the problem is that the manager, right, has given Mesut Ozil needs to look at himself. Hey, what have you got, Claude?
Okay.
Yeah, Mesut Ozil needs to look at himself. He needs to ask himself, and I'm just quoting Gwynn Balaguer, why did Real Madrid keep Di Maria and let you go? Why is it that you have not fulfilled your potential at Arsenal? Look in the mirror, Mesut. Look in the mirror, Mesut. Sometimes it could be you. Because the other day, Unai Emery had a problem with you, right? and your application, and he left you out. Mesut, a question I got from Mesut Ozil: when in our last season, right, when we needed you at Newcastle away, how comes when it was convenient, you had back injuries and you couldn't play big games, but when it was the big games and semi-final, it's Atletico Madrid in the Europa League, you were ready. Where were you? But how comes you were fit for your country in the World Cup, despite the fact you had back injuries? And you had the same sort of situations where with Unai Emery, where you had these injuries. The problem, maybe you need to look at yourself, Mesut. The problem is that you had a manager there, right, who gave you a chance. 15 games in, you played 15 games. Don't come up and say that it's because of your views on the Uyghur Muslims. You made those comments before Arteta got the job, and you're still got an extended thing. Arsenal distanced themselves from what you did, for what you said, but they didn't fine you. They didn't ask you to come out of the scene. They just distanced themselves because they lost revenue in the match. So you can't say that it's Arsenal. You're given a chance. You're asked to play in that withdrawn role. But unfortunately, your application in training, right, wasn't to the manager's satisfaction. You're not the only one who was left out because of that. Remember, you had problems with Guendouzi as well. So you need to look at yourself, Mesut, and ask yourself, why did I not take that chance that I was given by my manager? Why is it that my manager stopped covering up for me and stopped saying I was injured? All right? Look at yourself, Mesut, and ask yourself a question. Why is it that my manager didn't want me around the group, that treated me like Samuel Eto'o was treated by Guardiola, and Deco was treated, and also Ronaldinho? Why am I not allowed around the group? Why is he just let me train and fulfill my contract? How about look in the mirror? Why were you not consistent? What happened after the 15-16 season? Tell me what happened after that. Because the other day, we gave you pace, we gave you strikers to score goals, and yet you weren't producing these numbers. But when you play for your country, where your place wasn't in jeopardy with Joachim Löw, you produced these numbers.
He definitely did. Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah. So how about looking at yourself? You can't keep on blaming people. Another thing as well, Arsenal fans, right? Stop being manipulated by this man and his agent. You're and talking about things about politics which you have no idea about and you don't actually care about. All right? Mesut Ozil has been left out of Arsenal for footballing reasons and because he has never fulfilled his enormous potential at the football club, and we can't wait around forever. We can't build a team around yesterday's man. Aubameyang is the main cheese now at Arsenal, the big show. All right? Accept it. Stop being manipulated, Arsenal fans.
It definitely divides opinion. The
problem with about dividing opinion is that a lot of Arsenal fans are confused in some cases. Not all of them, because you've got to remember there's 99% of Arsenal fans that don't go on YouTube, don't go on Twitter or the fan camps. But what I'm trying to say is that you sound very confused. You want everyone to back Arteta and say that he's this innovative coach and clever man and tough man. Yet you're in the same breath, you're saying that he was forced to leave out Mesut Ozil for political and non-football reasons. Where do you stand on this? What do you stand for? You can't contradict yourself and say this is a tough manager and then call him a puppet. He's either one or the other. Or maybe you should accept his decision and say, look, my man just hasn't produced the numbers.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't make. There's a super chat here. Says Mesut's father went behind his back when he piled his trade at Madrid. This complicated and compromised his position at Real. Look it up.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying, but there was other considerations as well, where Real Madrid went aggressively after Gareth Bale, and what's happened? They had to let Galactico go, and everyone thought it would be Di Maria, but it wasn't Di Maria. He left the season afterwards after playing one of the Champions League. You know.
Anyway, that's another debate for another day, and I think once he's gone, I think that then these arguments will go away. I think.
Well, nothing's going to go away, Claude, at Arsenal. I'm afraid the reason why nothing's going to go away is because until Arsenal win the league and start winning the league on a consistent basis, right? Then I'm afraid that we're going to argue amongst ourselves for a long time. But the problem is, let's not think that because we're all arguing on Twitter that all Arsenal fans are the same. Some Arsenal fans don't even own a mobile, don't own internet. They just go to the matches to have a chat in the pub, and then leave it at that. They don't publicise it. It's people like me and you are publicising it because we're going on new media platforms. But other Arsenal fans, not all Arsenal fans, argue amongst themselves.
Yeah, there's in the super chat there. This is one for you, Kenny. Is Ollie better than Arteta? And the battle today is at Old Trafford, of course. And I suppose that's why he's brought out.
I think it's hard to do that. I think what's happening right now is that one's started his career and one's had a wealth of experience of wealth of coach. I think they both had coaching experience. Remember, Ole was the reserve team manager at Man United under Sir Alex. Arteta was very much working for 3.5 years under Guardiola. So he's had coaching experience. In terms of managerial experience, Arteta's just starting out. But you've got...
Ollie divides opinion at Old Trafford.
But I think if you want me to say about Ollie and Arteta, and I say this with the greatest respect to both of them, I think both of them are not sure and do not rate the players they have at their disposal, and that's why they play, like safety first to tactics. If they had the world class players that Arteta had at Man United Man City, and Ole had the sort of players that he played with in the 90s, then I don't think they'll be playing with those sort of systems they're playing now. They basically joined clubs that are on the wane in terms of like football importance. Man United are just about part of the discussion for a top 4 place. Arsenal, and I say this with great respect to our football club, the football club we both love. And I'm not saying Arsenal crap, because that's to be stating the obvious. But the problem is that we're not part of that conversation when it comes even for the top 4. We're not part of that conversation when it comes to actually winning Champions League.
Please don't depress me even more. I want to be in that top 4 come the end of the season.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is that we need to get results, and we need to get results fast. We've got 6 games, we've lost 3, and we got a big game now. We have to win, and that's the thing. Because the thing about it, right, is that the problem we have about getting top 4 is that the reason why Man United got the top 4 is because they had 4 players who couldn't stop scoring. Bruno Fernandes in the second half, Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood. That gets you top 4. The amount of goals you score. We don't have any goal scorers apart from Aubameyang, and having just Aubameyang as a goal scorer, and he hasn't scored for 5 games. That's a cup team. That's not a team that can get you in the top 4 wins leagues. So, and I've been saying this for 3 or 4 years. Unless Pepe gets in the goals, Willian gets in the goals, Lacazette gets in the goals, and maybe Eddie comes off the bench, gets some goals. We're not going to trouble the scorers. We're just going to be difficult to beat, just like we were. And I'll tell you one thing. One of the things we should worry about, right? Stephen, I'll leave you. Stephen, that's you said that, but I kind of agree with you on that, Steve. I'll give you that. Is that he wasn't my first choice as Arsenal manager. I wanted someone else to be Arsenal manager, and I still think that I'm not convinced he's the right man. But in terms of like Arsenal, if you look at the 92-93 season, we scored our lowest goals of 38 goals in the Premiership. Now, the way this manager's playing, we'll break that record and score less than 38 league goals this season. I'm sorry to say it, but that worries me.
Yeah, Kenny. Sorry about that. I need to get myself a cup of coffee because
Don't worry.
I can't have a coffee in the morning. I'll go mad. It's afternoon now, anyway. So
Shoot your coffee and slurp it.
What I was going to say, well, we covered most. We've covered most angles, Kenny. I think we've covered everything there. Yeah. Today's game. Would you take a draw, Kenny, today, or
we need to win. We need to win. But I think what's happening is that you have to look at the context of the game, because I think when you look at the context of the game, if we're getting battered and we manage to manage to hold off or nick a goal at the last minute, it's a good result in the context of the game. But if we're playing well and dominating and we get a draw, in the context of the game, it doesn't look good. But let's face it, what we do need, Lauren, I agree with you. We need a goal-scoring attacking midfielder. 100% agree with you, Lauren. One of the things we do...
Van de Beek is related to Bergkamp now, isn't he? So...
Yeah, it doesn't mean he wants to. He doesn't want to. He doesn't mean he doesn't want to go to a bigger club. Yeah, but
we're a massive club as well. We're just as big as them,
we don't act like. The thing about it is that in terms of we are a big club, we pay big wages and big transfer fees.
They don't call us the Arsenal for nothing. Why they all say?
But the problem is that we revel in that rather than. We revel in our Bank of England thing and the Arsenal rather than actually competing for trophies. We spend too much time at Arsenal worrying about being seen as a classy club, and then clubs like Chelsea and Man City clean up and are on the honours board. And I'm fed up of being a nice.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm fed up of being nice. I don't want to be nice. I want to win. Okay. I'm in a results business.
Being a nice and classy club.
I don't want to be nice and classy. And Arsenal's never been nice and classy. You remember the 80s when we had players like Alan Sunderland and FtvMedia and all them lot. We weren't classy then. We're at Tuesday Club when they used to go. Then they used to go around to the Postman's pub just off just off Hornsey Road and have a piss up after when they used to train at Highbury on a Tuesday. All of them were at it. Vomiting and then coming to training the next day with plastic bags all over them. That weren't classy.
Kenny. Oh dear, yeah.
Okay. Can I ask one question? Steve said Husenholtel from Southampton. I'd rather Nagelsmann, to be honest, Steve. But the thing is, right, you got me thinking.
Oh, he got hammered the other night now.
Yeah, but he I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, but that's only one result. I don't know what was worse. The result with that guy's jacket and the shoes as well. Bloody hell! I thought, bloody hell, is he going to a high school prom or something?
Yeah. Listen, Kenny, I really appreciate you coming on. Before you go, your score prediction for the game?
2-0 Man United. Sorry.
2-0 Man United?
Yeah, because I think what's happened is that their strikers... I think their strikers are scoring goals, and they're scoring goals. Even though they're shipping goals, they've got people who can put the ball in there. And at the moment, we're struggling to do that.
I got a feeling about today. I think it's going to be a 0-0 because they're going to both be so negative. I think they'll both be negative. They both don't want to lose the game. I think we might even sneak it on the counter. We might just sneak it.
Hey, you know what? If we can win at Old Trafford, and like I said, sneak it, man. Arteta, you might as well. Arteta won't have to buy a drink for about a year.
He'll get a statue.
You know what I mean?
Freedom is. He'll have the statue, the freedom of Islington, and he'll have everything.
Yeah, but I think whatever happens, right, we have to enjoy it if we do win, because you know what me and you are miserable bastards, and what we're going to do is we're going to, after we I want us. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I want us to win today. I'll even celebrate it. But I'm going to have that Terry in my fucking ear all fucking. Hey, what's
I'm going to have him all in my ear. Last night he was getting on my nerves. He is now the new Ty. He is the new Ty.
Yeah, because you're easy to wind up, Claude. You're easy to wind up.
No. He was winding me up last night, good and proper. Oh my God! It was like Ty revisited, mate. I'm telling you.
But the thing is, do Claude, you've got to move on from Ty. Ty's his own person. He's on another channel. You know, one of the things I've been telling you for a long time, right, is that you have to do things independent from Ty. You got to do things you don't need a double act, Claude. You don't need a double act. Be yourself.
Becoming a double act with me and him now. God, bloody hell.
But the thing is that it's about a debate. You can't have a show or a debate show where everyone agrees. It's boring. It's a loving. A debate's a debate. You know?
It's good. It's good. And we had a good... I let them get on with the boxing, and I joined them quite late last night. I was in the chat, but I thought... because what got me last night, they're talking... There's a boxing going on, and I'm watching in the background, doing the chat, watching the fighters. What was the fight before?
You're talking about George Cambiasos versus Lee Selby.
It's the Mexican guy, wasn't the Mexican guy?
No, it's Cambiasos. He's from Australia.
Was it Australia? Well,
yeah, but he
not that far away, am I?
Yeah, of course you're not. Yeah.
So I'm watching the fight. I'm watching it, and they're talking about bloody Star Wars, Kenny. Yeah. They're talking about bloody Star Wars. Talking about bloody Star Wars.
Hang on it. If you watch the cricket, but if you watch the cricket, right, and you watch the days playing the cricket, right, and they got to talk for 6 hours, they're not necessarily talking about the action or about cricket affairs. They're talking about silly things as well, like, you know, if you hear like say, all right, they don't work for Sky anymore, or they don't work for the Test Match Special. But you know, you used to hear them talking about the shoes they're wearing, about where they polish their shoes, because for 6 hours you can't just. You've got to talk about something because people want to hear you talk. That's what these are for. Talk.
I remember the old days when was it cricket? Old days, the Sunday cricket. You could fall asleep with John Arlott, couldn't you?
I know.
The old Lake John Arlott and Jim Lake, and they used to talk about green cakes, didn't they, and things like that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, yeah, they're both not with us, and you know the old Peter West as well. West in peace as well. But I think what's happening there is that you still get it on Sky with Atherton and Everton, Hussein and Holding.
Oh yeah,
and Ward as well.
What's his name? What's the cricketer from Lancashire? Old cricket from
David Bumble. Got to love Bumble. Bumble's a legend.
He talks about anything but cricket, doesn't he?
Yeah, he loves to sing as well, Bumble.
Yeah. No, so yeah. Anyway, it was like they were talking Star Wars. I thought, bloody, I had to get in there. I'm not having Star Wars. This is a boxing night. You know, you're supposed to be talking about boxing.
Claude, you got 46,000 views, mate.
46,000. Yeah, it must be 30,000 Star Wars fans tuning in then.
Well, I think. Well, the good thing about it is that boxing fans as well. I think what's happening is that you have to give the public what they want. I think the problem. If you look at the fan cams,
Chicks in the chat. Chicks in the chat. What's his name there? It's Dwarf.
I don't know what that is, man. But like if you look at the fan cams, 90%. Like you and I know, 50% of them are not Gooners. The others are fans from other clubs and fans who just like the personalities on there because they have catchphrases or pseudonyms. They're not actually Arsenal fans. But you've got to give the people. I'm not saying that. But you were part of the fan cam. But maybe they liked you for your football knowledge. But not everyone on the fan cams is liked for their football knowledge. They're liked because of their personalities, and that's the thing. YouTube's free. You don't pay subscriptions to it like Sky. It's free, so anyone can have an opinion on the show or the person. Yeah,
it's a shame. Funny you should say that. It's a shame I didn't charge everyone £1 for every time they took a photo of me. I'll be living in Chelsea, not in Finsbury Park.
But the trouble is, there's people like but the trouble is there's probably people who are on the fan cabs who do that.
Anyway, listen, Kenny. I've got to thank you so much for coming on, Kenny. I know it's late notice, and thank you so much for coming on and. We've had a good morning. We've gone through everything. We've gone through the boxing. We've gone through football. We've gone through Star Wars. We've gone through everything this morning. So I really do thank you for coming on.
Javine, I didn't know you were Liverpool. Javine Headley. You related to a famous West Indian cricketer
one of the greatest cricketers who played for the West Indies? Headley?
Probably. So here we go. So thank you everyone in the chat. Thank you all for coming on. Don't forget, I'm hoping, I'm 90% sure he's going to be on tomorrow. I can't confirm it 100%, but Lee Gunner's back tomorrow, on Monday around about 11:30. Back tomorrow. Arsenal Man United tonight, the watch along with me, Terry, and Diesel. We'll be watching. Hopefully, get 3 points back, and hopefully, me and Terry will be celebrating together rather than arguing at the end of the stream.
Hey, Claude, I'll tell you what. You know what I think is going to happen, right? If we win today and then we start having like adverse results, this wins. People will say, "Well, we didn't really beat a great Man United side, really, did we?" You know what I mean? It could be you saying that. It could be you saying that, Claude. You need an answer.
Listen, at the end of the day, the club is bigger than any player, manager, or anyone.
Club's the start. The club is the start. It's the biggest thing ever.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day,
I don't like all this fans of players and fans of managers. And
but we've always. I knew you were Jamaican, Javon, but you've always had that sort of thing, I suppose. I think what's happening with social media is that people have a voice that they've never had before, but and then you've got a choice. I think what we have now with normal people is that the people who get in social media will have UPS talents. They're not media trained, and if someone like from the fan cams waves a mic in their face, they're going to go and they're going to want to talk because we still have that sort of like thing in our brain. Well, yeah, man, I've been on TV. Hey, I'm on TV today. Go and watch. I'm on the 6 o'clock news. They interview you for 10 minutes and then you end up in a cutting room floor, or you're on there for about 5 seconds or 20 seconds. You think, wait a minute, we spoke for 10 minutes. How comes I'm only there for 20 seconds? And I think that's the thing about the fan cams, where all right, hello, Laurie, you all right? Yeah, well, I don't think he'll start up front, but Claude wants to start up front. You may be right there, but I think what's the thing with the fan cams, and I think that's where they got it right, is that if you're talking for 5 minutes, it's the 5 minutes, and I think that's why people want to get on those fan cams, is because if they generally tell their friends that they've been on the fan cams, then they're genuinely on there, unless they're a pork chop and Robbie or Tao decided to cut the stream off.
Anyway, won't go into that. I hope everyone has a great day. Enjoy the afternoon. Enjoy the game today. I think it'll be a crack. I hope it's not like last week's game, which was a bit of a snore fest. Which Kenny actually was in favour of it, saying it was a tactical.
I thought it was a brilliant game to watch. I enjoyed it.
You're joking, Kenny.
Hey,
no.
I'm going to leave the viewers with this before I go. Right, the best Champions League final I've seen for a long time was AC Milan and Juventus in 2003. No mistakes, attacking in numbers, quelling those attacks. It was pure football, pure theatre. It had my heartstrings going, but it wasn't.
So you don't prefer the 4-3 Liverpool Leeds game then?
The 4-3 Liverpool Leeds game is very exciting to watch. You tell your kids about it, you're going to see great goals, but the defending was atrocious.
Or the Aston Villa Liverpool game.
Oh, bloody hell. Liverpool. I mean, how many times did Liverpool had to play the high line for them to realise, we're actually not going to win this game?
Funny you say that. I think the best game I've ever seen, right, and it's a game we've had. If I'm not because, and it's a game we actually lost, but I was actually proud of the team. Because I thought it's the FA Cup semi-final when we lost 2-1 to United in when they went on.
That was the best. Yeah, that's it. But
that was a fantastic game.
Remember that. Stephen Ward has become a YouTube member for you guys.
Thank you,
channel,
thank you very much.
Sorry, Christopher. It's Christopher Ward. But one thing I will say, right, is that don't get it wrong, right? Yes, I like the fact we're defending a bit better, but I'm not happy with Arteta's football. It bores me to tears. I don't know. It's like he's. Oh, sorry about that. Forza Juve. I'm a Juve fan as well, Vista as well. So yeah, I wanted Juve to beat Milan as well in the final. And
No,
I still think Dida was off his line for those penalties, and he should have stayed in his line. So I get what you're saying. But in terms of Arteta's football, it leaves me very underwhelmed. It's boring to watch. It's not great, and he ain't going to win us anything. Sorry. He'll win us the FA Cup, but in Europe against better teams, we're going to get mullered against the better teams, and it won't get you top four. Let the shackles off, Mikel. Let the shackles off, son. What you got to lose?
Exactly. That's where we go. That's how we'll end it today. Let's take care, everyone. Have a lovely day.
Yeah.
I hope come 20 past 6 tonight. It's not spoiled. But let's hope that, and up the Gunners, and let's go. Let's go for it. As what is that famous day? Is that the club is the star? Say it.
The club is the star. The club is the star, guys. The club is the star.
There we go. Take care, everyone.
See you later.